Edina Comhores was a subsection of a user-based porn site. A student who I don't believe was from Edina created this and uploaded a bunch of pictures of girls from Edina in bathing suits, minimal clothing, selfies, and pictures he and his friends had received, etc. They ranked girls, said sexually explicit things, put their names and contact information on the post so any user could see. Because this was not isolated, perverted old men found it. Soon enough, these men started printing out these pictures of girls or having them on a different screen and jacking off to them, posting pictures of their cum on these Edina girls' underage faces. Administration knew about this and the student frenzy it created, yet not once did they publicly address it or even address it to all the students. Very soon after that, a group of boys from Edina High School, class of 2021, created a list of 100 girls in their class and ranked them 1 to 100. The list was oddly similar to the rankings Edina Comhores had on their website. Again, there was no public acknowledgement on the administration's end and only an in-school suspension for the boys. One of the boys was actually crowned Sweethearts King after the fact. I'm here today to shed light and hopefully bring pressure to Edina High School's administration and school board to change and prioritize the actual students going through your system rather than the capital that your sleazy bigotry brings in. Thank you.
The experiences that I went through at Egan High School, the experiences that I went through at every Minnesota school before that, shaped me into an adult that is still dealing with the trauma of racism. I'm still dealing with the trauma of transphobia and queerphobia that I grew up around. And I'm specifically still dealing with the experiences of sexual assault that I went through in school, by teachers, by students. When the principal, Dr. Polly Rykowski, who still is the principal of Egan High School, even though she has been asked to be fired by more students than just me, when she found out about this, I was called to the office, and I had one of the most traumatizing experiences of my entire life. She told me that she was disappointed in me, and I spent 4 years trying to figure out what she meant by that. I don't know if she was disappointed that I was assaulted. I don't know if she was disappointed that I told people. I don't know if she was disappointed that I wanted justice. But she told me she was disappointed in me. She proceeded to call me down to her office constantly for weeks. And what I realize now as an adult was subtle manipulation to try to get me to step down from ever talking about my story again publicly. After weeks of being harassed by my principal, of being treated unfairly by speech coaches, debate coaches, I was hospitalized for an attempted suicide, and I spent a week in an inpatient facility. The reason that I had been encouraged to quit the speech team and to just focus on debate was not because I was as talented at debate as I was and was being told that I was, but was actually because the speech coaches and teachers, faculty in the school building actually had a meeting where they decided and voted on if I should be allowed to come back to the speech activity because my abuser was also in speech. I later found out that my abuser was actually allowed to talk to all the teachers and the faculty and defend himself, and I never even knew the meeting happened. I was just silently removed from the speech team even after being a national awarded speaker. Ultimately, I almost didn't finish high school. I almost didn't apply to college because I didn't believe that I would survive long enough to actually get to graduation day in the first place. But I did graduate. I graduated from the U of M in 3 years. And so ultimately, I leave everyone with the question that was asked earlier. How much do all of you really care about children? Because I stand here as a 21-year-old adult who has been standing in front of groups like this since I was 14, and nothing's changed. So if you care, it's gonna be ugly, it's gonna be scary, and you might lose your job. But across the state, there are hundreds of children that are losing their innocence. So if you care, do something about it.